Hello, I'm Warren T. Coverage, Associate Professor of Popular Culture, 1959 to 1969 at Calumet College in St. Joseph, Indiana. Tonight on Investigation Nation, we have a tale of the 21st century, the new paradigm in investigative research, where people who've never met band together in a common cause, using the tools provided by the internet, supported with conjecture, guesswork, notions, presumptions, suppositions, and sneaking suspicions. This unlikely brain trust invested many, many hours in research, all to bring you the amazing story of the I-Band. Unfortunately, no photographs or recordings exist of this seminal group, so tonight we bring you interviews with that dedicated cadre of researchers who uncovered this real-life drama. As an interesting aside, they've never met, except in cyberspace, so to honor that, we'll refer to them with their screen names. One final note, at the end of tonight's program, we will offer one more interview, an individual that our investigative team has uncovered, an interview that may make you doubt your very perceptions of reality. But first, a word from our sponsor.
I don't understand. Can anyone hear me? Help me! I don't know. I don't. God, I know I haven't talked to you in a long while, and I wouldn't blame you for not listening. But I really need you now.
So, without further ado, every story has a beginning, that little thing that ends up sending Columbus across the Atlantic or men to the moon. In our case, it started in Rochester, New York on a cold September day in 2005 in the basement living quarters of a 30-year-old unemployed theremin player, known online as Catman 37896. Lionel Twains. And here he is with our field reporter, Al Dente.
Hi, I'm Al Dente, reporting from the home of the mother of Catman 37896. We're here in the basement where he has resided since 1975.
Lionel, make sure your little friends don't break anything. And remember, I have a podiatrist appointment at 5.
Okay, Ma, jeez. Is this thing on? Should I start? Now? No? Now?
Now, Mr.
So I was
Twain.
surfing the internet that afternoon. It was Tuesday, IIRC.
IIRC, pardon me?
If I recall correctly.
Sorry.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. I was taking a break from cataloging cat videos when I stumbled across an entry in Wikipedia on music of the early 1960s. It had always been a particular area of interest to me, so I decided to read it. And there it was, buried deep in the article. A simple statement, but one with far-reaching implications.
Mr. Twain's? Lionel, what was it you found?
Pardon me? Oh, I remembered the statement exactly to this day. It said something like, the American hit music of the early 1960s was actually written by 3 friends who attended a college near Chicago in 1958. I immediately named them the I-Band, for I had discovered them.
Wow, that's really interesting. What did you do next?
Well, sir, I text my friend and close confidant, a gentleman known only as the Badger, to come over and help verify and document my discovery.
And did he?
Well, he texted me back that it was only 5th period, and he would need to wait for school to be out, but he would be right over.
So, what did you do in the meantime?
Well, since it was only a few hours, I got on this website 4q.cc. It has an amazing list of Chuck Norris facts that I found quite humorous.
Really? So, what did you do when the Badger finally arrived?
Well, sir, that's when it got kinda weird. Excitedly, I surfed to the Wikipedia page and scanned the article, but the reference was gone.
Lionel, it's 4:30. Time to go.
Okay, Ma. Jeez, give me a minute. This is kind of important. Sorry. Where was I? Oh, yes. Before I had a chance to explain, the Badger stormed off in a huff, citing much homework and thinking I had played him for the fool. But I had not. I was on to something. Or else, why else would someone go to the trouble of deleting the reference? I smelled a conspiracy. And then I smelled tacos. For it was time for dinner. I would have to return to this conundrum later.
Well, there you have it. It all came down to tacos.
Lionel!
Ma!
Oh, yes, well, and return he did. For the next 7 years, Twains was obsessed with this mystery. Who were they? What was their story? Where did they come from? And where did they go? He created a website, chat rooms, bulletin boards, and databases to store and share the facts about the newly named I-Band. Soon, an army of others, more like a squad really, took to the search. They scoured Wikipedia, investigated websites, read blogs, and instant messaged. One of the early members of this squad was 011 Real name? Dougie Style, who at the time was a 13-year-old geography prodigy at East Chicago High School.
First.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
All right then. Before we begin, your screen name.
Ah, yes, it's binary code.
Okay, what does it mean?
It's a noun. It's a coding system and uses binary digits.
Oh, no. I mean, all those ones and zeros, what do they translate to?
Ah. Yes, well, remember, I was 13 at the time, and it means boobs.
Oh, okay. How about I just call you Dougie then?
Sure.
All right then. So tell me, you were one of the first members of the I-Band research.
The first. Before anybody else, except Catman 37896, of course.
Ah, you mean Lionel Twains.
If that's his brick and mortar name, sure.
All right then. You were the first.
Long before that sore-limbed scat gobbler, the Master 256, that bastard. I don't care what he says. I was there first.
Okay, the first, I understand. How did you get involved?
I'm sorry. I digress. Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. It was the fall of 2005, IIRC, and
IIRC. If I recall correctly.
yes, very good. It was very early in October, if I recall correctly. I was a mere sprig of a lad of 13 years. I was on the internet searching for countries to determine their top 5 exports, for it was a Tuesday, when I inadvertently mistyped Iceland as I_eland in the Google search box. When I looked at the screen, displayed was the statement, "Did you mean the I band?" I was intrigued, so I responded in the affirmative.
Well, then what did you do?
Well, there it was. The first entry in the search results. The mystery of the mysterious tale of the I band. The phrase seduced me, enticed me, tempted me. I was enslaved by the enigma. So I clicked. Once, twice, thrice, for I missed the link with the first click. And there it was. Catman 37896's amazing, wonderful, groundbreaking discovery, IMHO. That's in my humble opinion.
Thank you. IMHO. Now, when you say Catman 37896, you mean Lionel Twain's?
Oh, sure.
All right then. Well, what did you do?
Well, then I signed up on the forum, on the website. I went to the chat room, and he was there. He welcomed me to the team, and we chatted about the project. Before that shove-spine taint peddler, the Master 256, signed up. At least 5 minutes.
Dougie?
I'm sorry. I digress. Well, Catman, or Lionel, explained his current approach to the research. IIRC. His approach at the time was to reload the page on Wikipedia every 4 hours to see if the statement reappeared.
And you had a better suggestion?
Well, yes, I thought we could create a world in Second Life where we could meet and interact, just like IRL.
That's in real life.
And then I thought we could expand the research into other areas. It was common knowledge that all great songwriters of the period went on the road. I was just about to suggest that when that wet-haired piss-fondler, the Master 256, jumped right in and stole my idea. I knew he was trouble.
But you decided to research what?
I'm sorry. I digress. So, I resigned myself to research their early college years, where they came from, that spark that made them the musical force they became. However, what I really wanted to do was research their early band years. But that slop-holed carrot sniffer, that sponge-headed gas tub, that frog-legged nut-waxer,
Has the paranormal become normal? Are you fed up with the same phantoms just hanging around? Then watch. Fridays at midnight.
Oh, hello again, and welcome back to our investigation of the I Band, who allegedly wrote many of the hit songs of the 1960s. So, enough of the look at their inside dynamics, and onto what Style and Twain's uncovered, which was not much. They hit a brick wall, a dead end, a blind alley. as did the Master 256, the only other member of the team at the time until an itinerant, semi-literate freelance blogger by the name of Laura Lynn Hardy, going by the byline Brenda Star 01, was ghosting the blog Tacos and You for the online version of the whole wide world Inquiring News. Unknown to her editor, she posted an investigative piece on May 22, 2007 that contained an important piece of information.
Come on. Miss Hardy. Miss Hardy.
Could you guys please move along? I am undercover.
If we could just have a moment of your time.
If we could do this later. I'm trying to expose an organ harvesting ring run by aliens from Uranus.
What would aliens be doing in my... oh, I get it.
You see? So if you could please move along.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't. You see, we've only rented this equipment for today, and it has to go back in about an hour. So if you could...
Okay. Okay. What do you want?
Yes, if I'd like to talk to you about your article, Treasure Trove of Songs, from the Tacos and You blog back in May of 2007 for the Whole Wide World Inquiring News.
Oh my God. Well, I haven't thought about that since, well, it was my first, you know. Girl always remembers her first.
First hard-hitting investigative report, yes.
No, first time fired. Those bastards had me on the carpet. The title on the blog are Tacos and You. Where are the tacos, Miss Hardy? And they could shove their tacos. I'll tell them where they could put those.
I see. Well, you seem to have found other employment.
Oh yeah, big deal actually. For the last 7 years, I've been freelancing for the National Inquiring Eye website. I fill in for all their bloggers when they get food poisoning or rehab or jail.
And what about this investigative report?
Oh, this? I'm doing it on spec. In case everyone goes down, I have to be prepared.
Okay, can we get back to that article?
Huh?
The article from the blog?
Oh, you want to talk about that? Sure.
Oh, great. How did you get the actual interview?
Well, that's actually kind of a funny story. I got.
Miss Hardy?
Okay. Let's see. I was in Hell, Michigan. I was sitting at the bar at the Dewdrop Inn, and it was a Tuesday. And I was sucking down my 5th slippery ball beaver. To tell you the truth, I was a little tipsy, and I had been eyeing this large Native American a few stools down. So, I was about to make my move when a huge commotion arose in a booth in the back.
What did you do?
Well, like any good reporter out on a bender, I ignored it. I knew what was important. So, I summoned all my courage and I approached the big gal. Hi, Pocahontas, I said. Unfortunately, she must have been deaf or something because she got up and walked away without even a glance in my direction.
So, the commotion in the back?
Oh yeah, well, seeing as I wanted to be playing the little Dutch boy that afternoon, you know, I decided to investigate. And that's where I met Dwayne Pipe. He was yelling something about songs. A trunk full of songs. Oh, and microwaves from space.
Pardon me? Microwaves?
Yeah, but that's not really important to the story.
Oh, okay. Well, continue.
Well, my reporter's instincts kicked in. Smelling a story and some vomit, I figured this was my big break. Mr. Pipe was getting more and more agitated by the minute, and I couldn't interview him until I calmed down. So, using a technique I learned back in journalism school, I grabbed him by the ears and I pulled his face in between my boobs, and I held him there. Oh! I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, I said boobs on camera. Can I say boobs? No. I could do it again. I could use breast or jugs.
No, that's fine. Continue.
Oh, okay. Well, I held his head there until he finally stopped struggling. After a while, I realized that he also stopped breathing. So I immediately performed CPR. Or no, CPD. Oh, CPR. Whew. Anyhow, once he came to, we began to talk.
Yes?
Well, it gets really hazy after that. We continued to drink and talk and drink and talk until finally he passed out, so I left.
To write your story.
Hell no. I went back to my room and I passed out. When I woke the next morning, I was ready to write my story. Unfortunately, when I opened my notebook, the notes from the interview were, well, unreadable. God only knows why.
So, what did you do?
Well, I had to be out of my room by noon, so I started writing from memory.
You have a photographic memory.
Huh? What? Hell no. On most days, I don't even know where I am.
So, what did you do?
Well, sir, in the fine tradition of those news magazine shows, I just made shit up.
What?
Yeah. I remember him talking about a trunk of songs or something, and I went from there.
Okay, well, thank you, Miss Hardy.
Wait a minute. Could you do me a favor?
I guess. What is it?
Where are we?
Oh. Well, you see, we're right here.
Oh, thank God!
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And now back
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just remembered. I ran into Pipe years later. He didn't press charges. And you know what? He wasn't saying songs. He was saying sarongs. He's a sarong salesman, and he lost his trunk of samples. Damn. Imagine that.
Yes. Imagine that indeed.
Oh, hello. Welcome back again to our investigation of the I Band, who allegedly wrote many of the hit songs of the 1960s. Oh, that's good, that's good. This is a transcript of the article that was posted on that blog. I'll read it. Treasure trove of songs. Dwayne Pipe, a local eccentric, discovered a claim check that allegedly leads to a long-lost trunk with songs from the 1960s said to be, let me summarize. Basically, after his mother's death, Pipe went through her things and found her diary, perhaps one that looked just like this. Skimming the entries, he discovered a letter and a claim check dated June 7th, 1966, in an envelope that must have looked something like this. He had difficulty reading the note as illiteracy had been a family trait. But written on paper very similar to this, the note held the mystery, basically because he couldn't read it. Running outside, he bumped into the mayor, who had completed the 3rd grade, and had him read the note to him slowly. They determined that the claim check was for a trunk of songs. And where did he find this vital piece of information? He found it while rummaging through her drawer of unmentionables, possibly just like this. The rest of the article is unintelligible, so I'll stop there, but you get the picture. So we pick up the narrative with the Master 256, known IRL in real life as Tim Burr.
Goddamn fuckers.
Mr. Burr?
They did it again, god damn it.
Mr. Burr.
What? What?
About the I-Band research effort.
What about it? It was fine, hard work. But that little snot, like all the rest, tried to say I wasn't the first.
Well, I understand that,
This has been happening to me my entire life. You know, when I was 10 years old, I created this character. Timmy. And I hid him in all the pictures that I drew. I created this game, you know, Find Timmy. My friends would have to search the picture to find him. And what do you know? A year later, Hanford, that limey bastard, releases Where's Wally? And did I see a fucking nickel? No!
Really? Well now,
And don't get me started on internet memes. I fucking invented internet memes. In fact, I invented the word meme no matter what that bastard Dawkins says. LOL Cat, Slender Man, Charlie the Unicorn, Hamster Dance, Dancing Baby, mine, all mine. Star Wars Kid, I found the original video. Even Chocolate Rain, I recorded the first video under the pseudonym Zaytande.
Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain.
But you know how that turned out. But, like Find Timmy, stolen. You know, there are guys making millions off of my intellectual property. And I work here. It sucks, you know?
yes, well, about the I-band.
Oh, okay. Well, first, no matter what that little shit says, I was the first team member.
Yes?
Are you gonna write that down?
Oh, sure. The first. Okay, hold on.
Good. Well, Hardy's article on pipe was a godsend. Thinking back, it was a Tuesday, I had just had my 7th amazing idea of the day. Wanting to improve my awareness of the world, I decided to surf to the Whole Wide World Inquiring News website. But I was a little hungry, so I decided to run to the local Piggly Wiggly to pick up some butterscotch crimpets.
Excuse me.
What?
I'm sorry, you can't say that.
Say what, crimpets?
No, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly?
Yes, Piggly Wiggly, it's considered advertising.
My saying Piggly Wiggly is considered advertising.
Yes, Piggly Wiggly is a chain of stores, and the mention of which is considered advertising, which our lawyers say we can't have.
Okay, so Piggly Wiggly is out, but Whole Wide World Inquiring News is okay?
Yes, they paid a consideration for their mention, and Piggly Wiggly did not.
Okay, no Piggly Wiggly.
Thank you.
Shit, I forgot where I was.
You were buying butterscotch crimpets at the Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, you said...
Shut up, shut up.
Well, you don't have to be rude, you know.
Sorry.
That's what you fucking should be.
Pardon me?
Nothing. Well, anyway, I read that article, and everything started to fall into place. It all started to add up.
And it added up to...
Think about it. They would have had to start in the late 50s, 58, 59. That means folk protest music. And where was the hotbed of that music? The Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Pardon me?
Why, did you fart?
No, not me. I just thought...
Anyway, Style was sure that they were enrolled at Joliet Junior College. Why, there you'll have to ask him. So I reasoned that they had a 426-mile journey from St. Joseph, Indiana to the University of Minnesota.
Why the University of Minnesota?
Oh, please, they were college kids. It is a well-known fact that college kids travel from college to college, you know. Ergo, the U of M. Ipso facto, habeas corpus, cogito ergo sum.
Oh yeah, right.
So I did the research, and I discovered that anyone worth their salt played at the 10 o'clock Scholar at the Dinkytown District.
Really?
Oh yeah, all the greats played there. And a young U of M freshman, Bob Zimmerman.
Bob Zimmerman? You mean they met...
It's just my crazy theory, but I'm sure it's correct.
Wow.
So I hypothesized that they arrived at the U of M tired, hungry, broke, maybe having had to do unspeakable things to fund the journey.
Like what things?
We won't speak of it. They went to the 10 o'clock Scholar. Perhaps they met with the owner. He could have been a one-eyed Norwegian expatriate known only as Big Swede. Maybe they asked for a booking. But wait, they don't play any instruments. What should they do? Thinking quickly, they excused themselves and they retired to the knoll at the U of M.
You documented all of this?
Document is such an ugly word. This is theory, hypothesis, implication.
Okay, continue.
So as I was pulling all the threads together, I reasoned that they needed to get instruments fast, ones that would be easy to learn to play.
And you know this how?
It's obvious, n'est-ce pas? Now, where to get instruments? I see a pawn shop. I see them spending their last few dollars on spoons, an old cooking pot, and a guitar. Yes, a 4-string guitar.
Any facts?
Facts? Facts are for the simple-minded who need such things to connect the dots. I, like Sherlock Holmes, am able to deduce answers based on seemingly random and isolated breadcrumbs, reaching amazingly accurate conclusions. Now I can see them writing their first song. Tap, tap, click, plink, plink. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you.
Wait, there's more.
No, I'm sorry. We've run out of tape.
That's preposterous.
Well, and time. We're interviewing I Kill You 51 next.
Oh, I see. Get what you want and then off you go. Well, remember, all of this is copyrighted. This is mine, you know, mine. I know lawyers.
I understand. Thank you.
I don't have a good feeling about this.
Oh, excuse me. Welcome back to our investigation of the I-Band, who allegedly wrote many of the hit songs of the 1960s. Now, where were we? The next member of the team came on board shortly after the Hardy blog entry on Pipe went online. That was when things really began to gain traction. A 50-year-old unemployed mail carrier, screen name I Kill You 51, stumbled across it one day while researching automatic weapons on the internet. Now, I Kill You 51, Mike Sweeney.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Are you Mike Sweeney, also known as I Kill You 51?
Who wants to know?
Well, you see, we're shooting a documentary.
We? Are you from the government?
No.
Because I know all about the government. The feds, G-men, agents provocateurs, men in black.
What?
Shh, but we shouldn't speak of it here. Their eyes and ears are everywhere.
Whose eyes?
Shh, zip.
Sir, it's going to be hard to interview you if I'm not allowed to speak.
Well, you do have a point there, sir. I'll take a chance. You see, I used to be an agent for this government for many years, delivering the mail. Until one day, I went into work having just acquired the Negotiator. But I didn't go in alone!
Oh, no, sir. No, you see, I'm here to talk to you about your work with Catman 37896, Lionel Twain's.
Well, why didn't you say
For
so?
The I-Band project.
Well, come on inside.
Now, when did you get involved in this effort?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was a Tuesday. I had just been surfing the web looking for sales on steel-jacketed hollow point ammo.
Yes, IIRC.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Anyway, taking a break, I decided to check out the news. The whole wide world inquiring news, of course, online. It's the only credible resource on mutants, aliens, and government conspiracies. I went directly to my favorite blog, Tacos and You, because after all, who doesn't love tacos? Anyway, that day's article was on Dwayne Pipe.
Yes, the mysterious trunk of songs.
Right. But I could tell that the blogger, Brenda Star 01, wasn't able to write the entire truth. So I started to do my own research on the net.
That's when you found Twain's style in Burr.
Who?
Catman 37896, 0110010, crap, Boobs, and the Master 256.
I see you know about boobs.
Yes, for a while now.
Well, I wonder if you know about that mad, glorious bastard, Excommunicate!
You mean...
Shh, yes. Him. Noah Riddle.
Yes, there were rumors that...
Yes. Can we move on, please? This is very painful to me.
Okay.
Great. Those other bastards had pretty much covered the story, leaving Riddle and me to divvy up the later years of success and their eventual disappearance.
And your role was?
The success years. I figured that by the fall of 1960, they had saved up enough money to retire that old pot and spoons. They could invest in a ukulele, a washtub bass, 2 more strings for that guitar.
And how would this change affect them?
Oh, it would improve their entire sound. A much more melodic style. Especially now that they had 2 more strings and they could play a lot more notes.
So they...
Shh! Did you hear that buzzer?
What?
That buzzer!
I don't think I... What happened?
They sent agents to spy on us. They were questioning the neighbors.
What? Which one?
The couple down the hall. It doesn't matter. They are the most insidious agents I know. But their green uniforms and pigtails don't fool me a bit.
Okay. That's all for now.
But I'm not done.
Well, I just remembered. I have to pick up my dry cleaning before they close.
Oh, okay. You want me to come with?
No. That's fine.
When you come back, I'll tell you all about California, the Beach Boys, Charles Manson.
Sure, that will be great. All right, bye.
Oh, welcome back to our investigation of the I-Band, who allegedly wrote many of the hit songs of the 1960s. Well, we are closing in on the final chapter of this incredible journey. We are at the penultimate piece of the puzzle, the next to last man standing, as it were, the mysterious, the mystical, and the missing Noah Riddle, known as Excommunicate. Noah Riddle, no middle initial for reasons far beyond the scope of this documentary. Noah Riddle, the itinerant Discordian Pope of little note. Riddle only recently surfaced. It was previously believed he'd gone underground because he was dead or got married. However, he has come forward to add the final chapter to the saga of the I-Band, from California to Mississippi to the disappearance.
Now, before we begin, I want to thank you for coming forward to participate in this documentary, Your Eminence.
Did you know that 20 to 40 conspiracy theorists are killed by the government each day, but that their deaths are reported as traffic related?
Really? No, I didn't know that. Thank you. Now, about the I-Band, they arrived in California in the early 1960s?
If it was so, it might be. And if it were so, it would be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
Well, how did you first get involved in this project?
Do you know that we are born naked, screaming, and covered in blood? But the fun doesn't have to stop there.
Very interesting. I wouldn't have guessed.
Reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, it doesn't go away.
Okay. Good one. Now, how did you figure all of this out?
I can explain it best this way. Life is like soup. It's murky, has lots of little bits in it that you can't quite tell what they are, and generally, it needs more salt.
Yes, well, that is what it is. Now, what is your take on the disappearance?
In my experience, it only ends once. Anything that happens before that is just progress.
Okay, but did you learn anything from your participation?
Yes, a truly wise man never plays leapfrog with the unicorn.
Okay. Any other words of wisdom for our audience?
Yes, and this is very important. If you go exploring in the jungle, bring a friend. That way, if you come upon a lion, you only have to outrun your friend.
I did not see that coming. Back to you, Professor.
Welcome to our state-of-the-art studio. We've been on quite a journey. And you know what they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, followed by 1,759,999 more. Think about it. Here we are, the last 18 steps. We have followed this mad, wonderful saga from its meager beginnings in a basement in Rochester to the hallowed halls of the Discordians. We understand the complete story of the I-Band as uncovered by this committed group of searchers. But there's one more link in the chain, the ultimate player, someone who has a surprising piece of information. The one, the only, Dr. Ben Holden McGroin. Dr. McGroin, welcome. Thank you for participating in our documentary.
Oh, you're welcome. This is a really nice place. Do you live here?
Do I what? No, of course not.
Huh.
Doctor?
Who?
You.
Oh, yes.
What are you a doctor of, exactly?
Oh, well, that is a damn fine question. I have a PhD in, well, it's kind of like, it's a doctor of...
Never mind.
Never mind what?
Let's just start over.
All right, I'm Dr.
Not that far back.
Hey, is there craft services here? Really hungry.
Now, I understand that you have information of some importance that has a bearing on our story.
I do?
Yes, you do.
I do what?
Doctor!
Oh, yes.
I'm talking about your consulting work with Wikipedia, 2005?
Oh, right. That was fun.
Really?
Really what?
Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah. Well, they hired us, some friends of mine and I, to provide programming skills for, a nominal fee.
What was your job?
When?
At Wikipedia.
they wanted us to kind of produce these automated, kind of like an algorithmic, like an autonomous, like an iRoomba, only that cleaned up false entries in the articles.
Amazing. And did you?
Did I what?
Create these things?
Oh, well, it's a little hazy. I mean, we were young, and there were some possibly substances involved. Wait, can I say that on television, or is this basic cable?
No, it's okay.
Okay, right. Well, anyway, so Tuesdays were testing days, and we would type any crazy false thing that came to our minds in and see if our things would find them. Let me give you an example. James Taylor is a cyborg.
I see. So it is reasonable to assume, then, that one of these test case entries could have been, and I quote, "The American hit music of the early 1960s was actually written by three friends who attended college together near Chicago in 1958, end quote."
Could have been. I mean, I don't really remember much. Now that I think about it, we would type in just any old thing, and we got fired after like 2 weeks. I mean, Barry kept always peeing on the bonsai plant at Mr. Wales' desk.
But it could have been.
Could have been.
You're saying that it absolutely, positively could have been?
When you put it like that, maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
And there you have it. Incontrovertible proof from the man who might have been there and perhaps actually even typed it in himself. What do you think about that? Exactly. And now we know the answer. All has been revealed to those who can interpret it. I'd like to thank all of my guests, even those that were proven wrong. Dr. Ben Holden McGroin, thank you for your startling information. We've come to the end of this story. The truth is out there and not out there. This is Warren T. Coverage, Associate Professor of Popular Culture 1959 to 1969 at Calumet College in St. Joseph, Indiana, saying good night.
You know, Lev, they were so close.
I know, Nestor. I was rooting for them. How about you, Harlan?
Yep. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was late on Tuesday evening. I was working for the man, being paid not a living wage. You did not understand. Oh, I'm looking for a place called Liberty. A red-headed stepchild will be the death of me.